Oh yeah, I didn't even know the mic wasn't on. I'm glad I seen that real quick before I got to talking all fast. But listen, rest in peace to Nolan Wells, right? You know, hanging around some folks that ain't your friends. Unfortunately, there's another case just like Nolan Wells, and there's a person that is responsible as well too. He a teen. Man, let me just show y'all this video because this is insane. This is out of control. It's just crazy. So to set the scene up, you got one black boy at the beach with his white friends, and I guess they playing with gasoline and a fire. And then I'll let y'all see what happened.
A fire? All right, nah.
He said, what do you do? What do you do? I'm sorry, Brady. I'm sorry, Brady. I'm sorry, Brady. I'm sorry. Oh my God.
You want to be on fire? No. He wants to see some more.
He wants the real C. He wants the real C. He wants the real C. Oh my God. Get in the lake, 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 get in the lake. Dude, get in the lake, get in the lake. Dude. Put it out. Oh my God. Dude. Get in the water.
You want to be on fire? All right, nah.
I'm gonna let it play out a couple times because y'all looking at some real devil heathens.
What do you do?
Now.
I'm sorry, Brady. I'm sorry, Brady. I'm sorry, Brady. I'm sorry. Oh my God.
What up, Trina?
No. He wants to see some more.
He wants the real C. He wants the real C. He wants the real C. Oh my God. Get in the lake, get in the lake, get in the lake, get in the lake, get in the lake. Dude, get in the lake.
And I'm talking about they belly aching laughing. So let me so if y'all don't know what you're looking at, this is what you're looking at. These little heathen white dudes is playing with the gas and the fire. They done already soaked their friend in gasoline. And you see him laughingly ask him, you wanna feel the heat, or you wanna? Well, I'm gonna play it again, but they asking him that. So you seeing him slang the fire ever so just often, just a little bit, until he get close to the friend to set him on fire. I mean, this is crazy, B. This straight crazy. I'm gonna play it again because I see everybody coming in here. We're gonna let it roll a couple times in a row.
You want to be on fire? All right, nah.
He said, what do you do? What do you do?
I'm trying to figure out what's so darn funny. I mean, they laughing like, I mean, like, what kind of substances are they on? It's just so funny.
You want to be on fire? All right, nah.
You want to be on fire?
You want to be on fire? All right, nah.
He said, what do you do? What do you do? I'm sorry, Brady. I'm sorry, Brady. I'm sorry, Brady. I'm sorry. Oh my God.
You want to be on fire? No. He wants to see some more.
He wants the real C. He wants the real C. He wants the real C. Oh my God.
Man, that little act right there, just running that fire up to cuz like that. Ain't no prank in that. There's no prank in that. And I don't. Hey, if my friends pranking me, if they pranking me like that, we coming to blows. You definitely ain't about to be my friend no more on no crap like that. Like for real, for real. Like I don't play them type of games. That is unacceptable. Yes, you're correct. No, but that's the psychology of them folks though. Man, I don't care how high you is. You don't be playing that type of game, not with the fire. Oh no. Hide my ass. Hide my ass. I'm a whoop all your ass high. This dude finna have to get skin grafts and all of that. That's not like alcohol. He was already doused in yeah, that's like attempted murder. Hell yeah. It's premeditated. Yes. Hoopty. Yes. Thank you. You took the words out my mouth. First degree with intent to cause bodily harm. You damn Skippy. You damn Skippy. Oh no, we ain't finna let y'all skip over that one. Oh no. That's straight heathenism right there. That's Damien level. The good son. You know what I'm saying? They ain't make them them movies for no reason. The good son, Damien. Shows like Dennis the Menace. This is all for a reason. These little 8x5 these 8.5 heathens. That's terrible, dog. That ain't nothing funny about that. And ain't funny. What's funny about trying to set somebody on fire? Huh?
You want to be on fire? No. All right, no.
Real talk, John Roberts.
What did you do?
If everybody didn't see what
I'm sorry, Brady. I'm sorry, Brady.
John
I'm sorry,
Roberts
Brady.
said.
I'm sorry. Oh my god.
You want to be on fire?
Hold on, y'all.
No.
Just so y'all can see what John Roberts said. He said they made it a war crime to use flamethrowers in the war. That's how bad this is. Yes. Yes. Cause he had ample opportunity to not do this. Right? The fire wasn't that big one. So first of all, he soaked him. Then they made the fire. Now he made the fire bigger. His friends away from the situation. He gonna throw the gas leading to him. A trip, man. You can't. Oh man, that's dirt dastardly. That's nasty work.
He wants the real C. He wants the real C. He wants the real C. Oh my god. Get in the lake! 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 Dude, get in the lake! Get in the lake! Dude! Put it out! Put it out! Put it out! Oh my god, dude! Get in the water!
See, I've been telling y'all over these last couple weeks when we've been looking at this Nolan Wells stuff, right? I've been telling you that thirst, you know what I'm saying, for that type of destruction, that thirst for the kill, right? These where you think they got that from? I'm willing to bet y'all, if I had to speculate, right? If I had to use my old brain, I would say that they either living out something they seen in a movie we ain't seen, or a story one of his uncles or his grandpa told him about what they did to a black man before. What's up, Solstice? I see everybody popping in. I'm saying that they trying to mimic out what they seen somebody else do or heard somebody else do. Yeah, they was laughing at burning and torture. What in the midst of his hystericalness, you know what I'm saying? What if he ran furthest away from the water? You know what I'm saying? He it's thankful that he ran towards the water because it's already bad. Trust me. Listen, his whole body went up. His clothes was is already soaked in it. So that means them garments, his skin, man. I would say so too. Money Mike. Yes, his friend was a black kid. Yeah. They play with fire, others play with Glocks. Why they use the burn? Listen, this is what I'm saying though. This came from, this was passed down. This one was like, because it's either that or the risk of being with them type of dudes like that means that in whatever situation in which they can inflict harm on you, they're looking for a way to inflict harm on you in any situation. They was right by the water. If the fire didn't work, it could have been the water. I mean, and John Roberts say passed down from who? Passed down from their uncles, they granddad, hell, they father, if they old enough. My dad was born in 1943. So it's still people around from back then. What you talking about? That's hold on. Let's now y'all, I wanted to show y'all that first because I want y'all to see how the media covers it. Listen to this.
A teen in Marion County being lit on fire, and now one of his friends is facing serious charges.
WESH Lindsay Sablon got the video. She's here in the studio with the details. Lindsay.
Guys, I want to warn everyone because I know there are families who are watching at home. We are going to pause this video before that teen goes up in flames. Still, though, this is graphic. According to the Marion County Sheriff's report, 3 teens were hanging out on Kaufman's Island in early January. They were drinking around a bonfire. And in this first clip of the video, you can hear.
Uh-oh, does that sound familiar? Right off the top, they were drinking. Does this sound familiar, guys? Wow.
They're all laughing. Listen.
Brother.
What? Do you want to be on fire?
I know it was brief, but you heard that teen say, "You want to get lit on fire?" That continues for about another 10 seconds, and then this moment.
I'm sorry. Oh my God.
You want to get on fire? No. He wants to see some more.
He wants the real C. He wants the real C.
And you see there, we stop it right there. But you saw that suspect, who we are not naming because of his age, take that can of gas and then create a trail from the fire all the way to the victim. That victim was taken to Shands Children's Hospital and put in the ICU. I did call a mother today who said her son was there at the time. She did not want to talk to me, but said this was all a misunderstanding and that the suspect was not dousing the victim and that they're all friends.
Oh, that's why I did this story, because it's so close to the updates that I got on Nolan Wells, because I got some updates on those too. But did y'all hear that? Did you hear that? They were friends. It's a misunderstanding. Johnny setting Jamal on fire. It's not like that. You guys are always bringing race into it.
She also said the victim needs everyone's prayers. That suspect had turned himself in 5 days ago and now faces aggravated battery.
Aggravated battery? That's all you get? That's crazy right there. That's crazy. Do we see a pattern here, people? Do we see a pattern? Sounds familiar to me. Sounds super duper familiar to me. I just can't quite put my finger on it. I can't tell what it is. But today we're going to go to school. We're going to school. I can tell y'all what it is. I can tell you what it is. Oh, you want to know what it is? I'll tell you what it is. It's the psychology of racism and the psychology behind racism. Come on, bust it down, Tish.
It's the same concept that's behind school bullies. A school bully bullies somebody so that nobody is focusing on them, so that all the attention goes on to someone else. Oh, look, this person is not as good as me. Same thing with racism. With racism, you're looking at an entire race of people, an entire group of people, and saying, I am superior to them. Not in any way that can be genetically proven, not in any way that can be proven in any other way. Just, I say it's so, I say they're a mongrel race, I say they're this or that or whatever. And therefore, it gives me the right to bully them, to take their property, to take their lives, to harass them, to mentally subject them to whatever the case may be. It has been used down south as a reason to take people's property, to charge people taxes, to keep them from voting, so on and so forth, by making these rules and laws. And people always want to feel special. They always want to feel that there's something more special about them. And by using racism and by getting on, a soapbox and saying, hey, you as the white woman are the superior woman and this and this and that, it caters very much so to people who feel like they don't have control of their lives or the circumstances around them. I want you to also think about in a situation where you may have somebody who has a very good job, like a doctor or a lawyer, or maybe prominent in society, but then they go home and they beat up their wife and their kids. This is not because they have a bad wife, not because their kids did anything to deserve it, but because they have a feeling of inferiority. Lord, I can't speak today. And they feel inferior. And so by beating up on their wife and kids, it makes them feel more powerful.
Or like coming in black spaces, saying the most vile, nasty things that you could possibly say. Something like, kind of like, sort of like that. Something like that. Kind of, sort of like something like that.
It's a way for people who feel that they have no power for whatever reason, usually not real, more perceived, to feel that they have now the upper hand and you have to do what they say and you have to live under their rules and their laws.
Like, sort of like, just get over it, guys. He drowned. He just drowned, guys. Trust the process, man. Let's wait for the investigation to come out. Man. How they do every time. You guys are race baiters, man. You guys are stoking division, man. the division is being stoked, bro. Like, what? Yeah, black space. I mean, guests are invited. You know what I'm saying? We let dummies talk in the chat because, you know, some of our people need shining examples of the idiocy that we encounter. Right? So, yeah. Let her keep cooking, because she is cooking with all type of grease.
And so that is at the heart of racism. It's also, in my opinion, white people are very, very conscious of what black people have done and our power. And we as black people are not. And it's very important to them to make sure that we never, ever forget. Or let me put it this way. It's very important for them to make sure that we are never aware of who we are, the power that we hold as black people.
Notice now, if we didn't have no power, us over here on this little bitty old podcast, you know, this little bitty old podcast on this little bitty old podcast, and we ain't had no power over here, they would not be over here in the chat trying to see what's going down. Robert looks like one of them hybrid workers, or he might just be a regular person, but because he ain't got the two names with the four numbers in the back. Oh, Michelle, or Michael is, though. Michael's a worker. Losing brain cells, peace. Now, he put that up there, but I bet we going to see him tap back in. He going to say something else. He's definitely the worker. The two names and the four numbers in the back, worker. But let her finish cooking, because she is cooking.
And by continuously putting us down, throwing barbs, throwing racial comments, saying, things like, have you ever wondered, like, why white people are obsessed, white women especially are obsessed with black people's hair? They're obsessed with black women's hair because it's so versatile. It can do so many things. It's so thick. It's so luxurious. And so what do they have to do? They have to say, look, my hair is superior to yours. Does that make sense? And by putting down black women's hair and calling it names like nappy and this and that, then that's a way for them to take the attention off the fact that their hair can't do what our hair can do. It's like white men's obsession with the black male's body.
Yeah.
Any black man who's ever been in a gym can tell you that white men are absolutely obsessed with the body of a black man. They stare at black men when they're in the shower. They stare at them while they're getting dressed. They're constantly coming up to them. And you can take a black man, and most black men are beautiful physical specimens without working out, but they're constantly coming up to black men and saying, what's your secret? How did you get your body to look like that? And this and that and other things. There is a continual and constant obsession with black people. And instead of saying, hey, we are so fascinated by how beautiful you all are, what your hair is able to do, your physical characteristics. It's the same concept that's behind school bullying.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of saying all of that, and giving love and showing love and appreciate where y'all get everything from, y'all just hate. So I just kind of want to take y'all down that pizzazz. You know what I'm saying? Can't mind their business. No, not at all. And you see they can't mind their business because what they always doing. What they always doing. They always playing the victim, right? They want to be victims.
The same group of people who were screaming up and down at Nolan Wells' parents, saying that they were purely profiting off of the death of Nolan Wells, their own son, by having Ben Crump involved and Al Sharpton involved, to find out the answer to the question, what the fuck happened to that boy, are the same people that are rallying behind the so-called friends of Nolan Wells creating a Give, Send, Go. Actually, let's be specific. The father of Warren Hudson created the Give, Send, Go, the same one who put up $50K as a reward to any information about what happened to Nolan after his son Warren did that bullshit ass interview with ex-officer Tap Dance. a MAGA podcast, wherein he did not answer any of the questions, but actually ended up incriminating himself to the public even more so. So y'all don't find that interesting? Y'all don't find that suspicious? Because it seems to me that the same man, the same group of people that were chastising the mother of this poor boy that ended up dead in a group of so-called friends for trying to gain and profit off of his death are the same people turning around and profiting off of Nolan's death. Putting up a $50K reward and then getting up a give, send, go that so that you can make that money back because you really don't care. You were only doing that to save face because you know damn well your son went up on that interview with Officer Kunas and made a complete fool of himself. So to try to clear your name, you said, hey, we're putting up 50K also because we also want answers. But hey, also let's make it about ourselves as we do in true narcissist form and say how we've had so much stress, so much trauma from the threats and the narrative being portrayed that we know or we have something to do with the... Give me a fucking break. Now who's trying to profit? Because what kind of friend does that? What kind of friend is going to put up a give, send, go? Whose friend's father is going to say, hey, little boy of mine, I know your best friend, you call your best friend, just died. But let me put up a give, send, go for all the emotional stress that this is taking a toll on you because the public thinks you have something to do with it, given the fact that you can't give answers as to what the fuck happened to your so-called best friend. It screams guilty even more. It screams, I just put up that 50K to save face, but I want my motherfucking money back. It gives, I don't really give two shits about Nolan or what happened to him. It gives narcissism. It gives a pot calling the kettle black because y'all were just getting up on this internet talking about how, oh, the mom's just trying to turn this into a click circus. She's just trying to profit off of it. And now what y'all got to say about Nolan or Warren's father? Warren's father, Benjamin Hudson, making this GoFundMe, basically, a give, send, go for the friends of Nolan Wells because of the distress, emotional distress, because of some threats they've received. Baby, I get threats in my inbox every motherfucking day. The same group of people.
Broke that down. Huh. What? What did she say? Was that the read or the read? I think that was the red on the read. Did y'all know said give, send, go is up to like $63,000?
So Brandon Hudson, Warren Hudson's father, has now raised over $63,000 for Nolan Wells' alleged friends. The boys are receiving harassment, threats, defamation. Why? Because race baiters sent deranged army after them. That's why they couldn't attend Nolan's funeral. He said Attorney Ben Crump is the reason why. They're going to fight individuals who are naming them and spreading alleged misinformation, edited clips, edited audio, speculation. Why do I get the feeling that Jeanette Brantley is going to be one of those people they try to sue? I'm going to make this very clear. White folks, we can't be racist towards y'all. Racism is a system that y'all created to keep every other race down, especially black people. It does not reverse. Don't get mad because your feelings get hurt for something you created. Second, I never once heard Ben Crump attack those kids. I've heard him say, if you know something, say something, that things aren't adding up. And let's just say these kids are innocent. The track record is not adding up. If I was Nolan Wells' friend, first off, I wouldn't shut down my social media. Right. Second of all, I wouldn't have lured up and went directly to the police. Right. I would have took my ass to Nolan's parent. Right. On top of that, if Nolan Wells' father came for that phone and his keys, he wouldn't have to call the police to get them. Then I would have been able to show up to the funeral without anybody looking at me crazy. I wouldn't have went on a fucking MAGA right-wing podcast and sat with a black man who already hates his fucking race and discuss Nolan Wells. On top of that, to make myself look a little bit more innocent, my father wouldn't have put up a fundraiser to help Nolan Wells after everybody was already doing that shit. My mother, my stepmother, wouldn't have put out a statement to cover everybody's asses. If I was Nolan Wells' real friend, none of that shit would have happened. I would be standing with that family at every situation. If y'all are innocent, y'all didn't play this game right. Now y'all raising funds to sue the man that is helping Nolan Wells' family. I'm just saying an innocent person wouldn't go through all this, but good luck. So Brandon Hudson...
Come on, man. They just think we stupid, man. The gaslighting is really real. Like really real. Shout out to my man Trent Out Loud. He went on TMZ and checked them the other day, Harvey and them. And he had this to say about that money too.
Are disgusting people. They're trying to profit off of Nolan's name. Allegedly. Nolan's former friends are using Give, Send, Go to raise money for a defense team. But if you're like me, you had to be thinking, why use Give, Send, Go and not GoFundMe? I have the answer. GoFundMe has more aggressive content moderation, whereas Give, Send, Go, you can do whatever you want. And GoFundMe has stricter rules for certain legal defenses on controversial fundraisers, whereas like Give, Send, Go, yeah, it doesn't matter. We don't care. Now, let's get into the details. The fundraiser was created by Warren's daddy, and the money will be sent to a law firm, Taylor and Cox Law Firm. But hold on, because it gets more serious. I sent this over to my lawyers, and they said, we do not have evidence that every dollar will necessarily be spent on a lawsuit. The page says the funds will be received by Taylor Cox Law Firm, but it does not say all funds will be used exclusively for litigation. What happens if there is no lawsuit? What happens to the unused funds, or whether the law firm is holding the money in a client trust account? My lawyers say, I did not find any language in the campaign that says all donations must be spent on lawsuits. It doesn't say any unused money will be returned to the donors. And it also doesn't say any unused money will remain in the law firm's trust account. Nor what happens if no legal actions are ever filed. Might I point out the fact that there has been no litigation against these boys as of right now.
So basically, they getting tricked out of their bread, like they always do, from the big black boogeyman, whoever it is. They just made up one. They made up a big black boogeyman, and now they got the YT people coming out their pockets, picking their own pockets for some BS. Don't. Just whatever, just because Al Sharpton might be involved, just because Ben Crump's on the case. I don't know what these dudes is getting money for. Like, that is beyond me. How does your friend die and everybody's accusing y'all of doing it? But that's the ultimate reverse Uno card. That's the ultimate, y'all. The ultimate.
So what do you need the money for? Nah, these people are diabolical on a completely other level. I'm disgusted. I have a lot more facts, a lot more notes from my lawyers. I break everything down. I also have more information on Warren's daddy suing Benjamin Crump. And Christine, Mama Nolan, speaks. Make sure you check it out. Link in bio. Nolan Wells' former friends are just...
He always come on point with that beat. He do be hitting you with that beat. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't just us saying it. It's them folks saying it too. It's the folks. It's the folks. You know I got to come with the folks. It ain't just us.
This your boy White Trash, man. Check this out. So they say Bart is the guy responsible for taking Nolan Wells' life. Nolan Xavier Wells. Let's get into the situation. The circumstances, the facts, the speculation, and the information that's been gathered and collected. Because all we can go off by is what we can gather. There's nothing else that we can gather is by what we can go off of. So people say, oh, y'all make up lies. No, we're hoping somebody comes up with a great enough idea to solve this mystery and give these families some closure and make sure the ones that is responsible are punished. So this girl, Katie McCormick. So, check it out. Nolan, star football player. Katie McCormick, average, typical, high school age, hot chick that wants Nolan. Her ex-boyfriend's there, still has a thing for her. She's not feeling him. She likes Nolan. So, boom, they over there cuddling, whatever they're doing. Boom. Bart gets real jealous. Psychotic even, and he lashes out. Now, mind me, they're all friends, but maybe the kids are a little closer to Bart.
Man, I got headphones on, and this nasty nigga just farted, man.
Color. Maybe they were friends with Nolan, but maybe Bart was more important. Maybe once it already was done, they're like, oh man, we can't let Bart go down for this. I mean, Nolan's our boy, but hey, but Bart's our partner, you know what I'm saying? So they don't want nobody to take the rap for it. It's like they figure what was done. But this is white trash. I want you to get in this inbox, these comments, and you tell me what you think happened with the Bart, Katie McCormick, and Nolan situation. That way we can have an open discussion on the comments. Feel free to say whatever.
I mean, he ain't saying nothing ain't nobody else saying. I just want to make sure y'all know we ain't the only ones saying the same thing. And I'm talking about all the way down. It's some people that ain't scared to say it all the way down.
I'm sorry, with all due respect, I think Nolan Wells was dumped on the shore of Horn Island.
Boom.
I don't think he was on a boat and he hit the water and then he just eventually, with the tides and the current, made his way to Horn Island. I don't think he was on the island and then just kind of dumped there. I think it happened at some point on the water, and then he was dumped on July 6th, 2026. How does nobody on the 4th of July see him at all? We have no confirmation that anyone actually saw him after 4:30 p.m. Besides those two random witnesses that said they saw him at 6 p.m. without any video footage or pictures. And then the 5th of July, which is still part of the holiday weekend, people still did not see him. Now, I understand if he was under the water, he probably would have bumped into somebody. Someone would have bumped into him. An anchor would have hit him. Something. Someone would have seen or heard something. Someone would have been snorkeling.
He said an anchor would have hit him. Cuz breaking it down. He said an anchor would have hit him. Something. Snorkeling. Something. That's what I said. All the people out on that darn island. Come on now.
Someone would have been swimming. Someone would have seen something. No one saw him at all. And then July 6th comes when all the people that are camping are gone. The main rush and the congestion of all the people there for the holiday weekend, they're all gone. And all of a sudden, park ranger, boom, there he is, found him. There he is, right there. I'm sorry. And I mean this with all due respect. I think he was dumped there. So disrespectfully, I have a feeling that Nolan Wells was dumped there.
Straight like that. Straight like that. He said it how he said it. He said it. That's it. He think the little dumpity dump happened. Come on. We all saying it.
Yeah. Bart is responsible for Nolan's death. Right? Now, I believe that Katie and Bart know more than what they are saying. I believe that Bart was jealous of Nolan. When he saw Katie entertaining Nolan, I think that shit kind of struck a nerve. And I think that Bart choked Nolan. He choked Nolan. He got on that boat. He let his emotions get the best of him. He didn't know his own strength because he's a strong fella. He has a promising NFL football career.
Okay.
And this is why that community wanted to protect him. Right? But now, they're all scared. They're scared that if he goes down, he's going to take their kids down with him. And if they withheld information about what happened, they should go down with him. But again, this is all allegedly. I believe that Bart is the one responsible for Nolan's death. And Katie knows more than what she's saying. Those parents know more than what they are saying.
Right.
Because I'm still mind boggled, right, when it comes to one of these boys' father saying that he had a $50,000 reward for information pertaining the Nolan Wells investigation. Now, if it was accidental drowning, why would you be putting up money? Nah, that's bullshit. But again, I believe that Bart and Katie know more than what they are saying, and they need to be investigate it a little more. Maybe take them down and question them again.
Man, that's what I'm saying. This whole little thing ain't real because they ain't did none of the real police stuff. They supposed to have all of them dudes up in there with the one light in the middle, interrogation, cuffed to the table for hours, sweating and all that, which is what they would do if Nolan was Natalie. If Nolan was Natalie, boy, they would have invented a new internet mechanism to find white girls named the Natalie something. Talking about. We're trying to hear that crap. But let's rock it to the queen because she said we just got hit with the Uno reverse card in the Nolan Wells case.
Hello everyone, I'm Dr.
Hold up.
Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Ahmadai Shakur. And so let's talk about a plot twist and a reverse Uno card being dropped on the table. Let's get into it. Now I find it absolutely egregious and quite frankly nefarious that Dr. Benjamin Hudson, Warren's father, has put out a Give, Send, Go fundraiser account. Okay, asking for money for the friends of Nolan Wells. First of all, they were never his friends. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, they were frenemies if anything. But the audacity of them to be using Nolan's name, trying to profit and cash in and grift off of his demise, it is so disrespectful, and especially after the things that people like Warren and Trayston Shepard have said about the mother. Okay, please make it all make sense. But then you have people, the Confederates, out here going in on Mrs. Wansley, okay, and her husband, saying that they're grifting, you know, trying to say that they're just doing this all for money and just all these hateful things they've been saying. Well, this woman is still clearly grieving, but they don't have a problem with this. See how they have completely flipped the script, how they've completely changed the narrative, and now they want to make the people who left Nolan on that island according to their own mouths. This is what they have said. And so they say that they left him there, but they at the same time say they were his friends, his best friends. He was like a brother to them. And now they want to profit off of his demise. Somebody please make that make sense. And clearly they know something that we all don't, because they're raising this money supposedly for a civil suit, not a criminal defense, okay? And so yeah, if they in fact did do anything, and I'm not saying they did, but even if they did, they definitely don't seem to be expecting any consequences, okay? Right. Please pay attention. The fact that they've already made 2 arrests for threats that were supposedly made against Judge Ashley Cole in a government office, I find that very interesting, because my question is, are they doing the same? Are they investigating? Are they giving a probe? Are they looking into whether it's local, state, or federal law enforcement? Or are they actively looking into the threats made, credible threats made against Mrs. Christine Wansley and her family? Okay, I highly doubt it. Okay, please pay attention. At the end of the day, for them to be sitting here going in on Mrs. Christine Wansley and her family and Ben Crump and Al Sharpton, calling them grifters, and they didn't have that same energy for Jeff Metcalf, okay? This person who was not even in the same home with his sons, at the end of the day, he's come out and said all these hateful things that we all have heard, and he's still grifting right now. But nobody said anything about that. Also, let me remind you that no one was being disrespectful or going in on Natalie Holloway's mother when she was searching for her daughter, okay, who was alleged to have been drinking when she disappeared as well, okay? But they want to go in on Nolan, act like he was some drunkard out here just doing the most and taking illegal substances, really trying to sully his character, trying to victimize the victim and victim blame the victim. This is all so insidious. At the end of the day, you know, I just wonder what these people do to sleep at night. Okay, right. Please pay attention. And mind you, I'm not saying that they should have gone in on Beth Holiday, because absolutely not. Okay, she was a grieving mother, and my condolences for her loss, as I said back then. But the bottom line is, what I'm saying is, multiple witnesses said that Natalie had been heavily drinking. Okay, the bottom line is, they say the same thing about Nolan, and so people want to use that to just drag him for filth and just go in on his parents and act as though he doesn't deserve justice because of that. Okay, it's just low down and nefarious. And these people, you know, they just don't care. But they want to say that people who look like me are the ones making it about race. race when everything that the Confederates do is always about race. Okay, please pay attention. Right. Then tap dancing Tatum is out here helping them to paint this fictitious narrative, okay, acting like he knows so much about Nolan, acting as though he has some credible evidence and proof that things are going to come back a way that we don't expect to see. But the bottom line is he doesn't know any more than we do as it pertains to what's going on. Always acting like he has some secret insider information. Okay, please pay attention. He's also been exposed for lying, acting as though there's so much bad reception out there that no one could have good reception on their phone, that no one could be uploading pictures or anything, and that's the excuse for why Nolan's phone had nothing in it.
Right.
Well, that's already been debunked because the woman who posted that video of what happened on the island absolutely uploaded that picture to her Snapchat while she was on the island. So tap dancing Tatum, you need to go back to the office and try it again, beloved. Okay, please pay attention. And also, mind you, the Confederates, aka MAGA minions, are also going in on the good white tea people. Okay, yeah, that's what they're doing, making threats to them. But they want to act like we're the ones stoking racial hatred when we're absolutely not. Okay, please pay attention. Okay, they have threatened Secret Service Sam. Okay, and I'm hearing that they want to take Nancy Grace off the air. This is what they're doing. Anyone who has a contrary opinion, even if they look like them, they do not care. Okay, they just want to take down anyone who doesn't go along with their narrative. Okay, please pay attention. Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Ahmad Shakur.
Man.
So let's talk about a plot twist and a reverse.
I just got this one question. Why white people be acting like black people can't swim? Why is that? All this drowning. Tell them, sis. Hold on. Let me get her video right.
Yo, since covering this Nolan Wells case, the level and the amount of racist white people that think that black people can't swim is astronomically high in my comments. They really think we can't swim. Like, baby, I was a lifeguard. I was on the swim team in school. Yeah. I could go hop my big ass in the pool right now, big and pregnant, and still swim. And outswim a lot of people. Y'all real deal delusional as fuck. Like, where do y'all get this shit from? Yo, since covering this Nolan Wells case, the level and the amount of racist white people that think that black people can't swim is astronomically high.
It is astronomically high. I thought the same thing she thought, so I thought I might want to play that because it's true. I don't know where they get like we can't swim from, right? I don't know where that comes from. Yeah, I can swim, but I can't swim miles either, for sure. And I'm sure Nolan wasn't trying to swim no miles either. Who would be? Except for a person who does try out the lines, who wants to swim miles. But anyway, there's a level of something that we're dealing with when we talk about them folks. And my sister broke it down as the Dixie Mafia. I don't know if y'all know nothing about that, but she broke that down.
Now, if you remember my video from the other day where I picked up on a piece of apparently text or email that Secret Service Sam got that speaking about the Dixie Mafia possibly being involved in Nolan Wells's murder. So we're going to talk without further delay about the Dixie Mafia. Now, here it says the Dixie Mafia was, but apparently might be, is a loose network of traveling criminals based primarily in Biloxi, Mississippi that operated across the southern United States from the 1960s through the 1980s. But it is rumored, of course, that they are very much still alive and well. Unlike traditional structured crime families, it was a fluid confederation of transient crooks, burglars, and killers rather than a formal hierarchy. But what we are led to believe is that it is a modern day, well-run, very organized hierarchy of people with power, political power, and influence. Okay? Criminal operations, core crimes, specialized in lucrative burglaries, armed robberies, extortion, fencing stolen goods across state lines from Georgia to Oklahoma. Expansion. Later moved into illegal drug trafficking, marijuana, methamphetamine, moonshine gambling, and contract killings. operation style, relied heavily on local corruption, exploiting areas where local law enforcement was weak, absent, or easily bribed. Key figures: Kirksey McCord Nix, a charismatic leader and career criminal who continued to run scams and order hits from inside prison at Angola, the farm, including the notorious 1987 murders of Biloxi judge Vincent Sherry and his wife Margaret. Billy Sunday Burt, a violent Georgia-based hitman linked to numerous contract murders during the group's peak in the 1970s. Pete Hallett, a Biloxi attorney and former associate of Nix, who was later elected mayor before being convicted for his role in the Sherry murders. And Mike Gillich, a prominent Biloxi figure with ties to local vice and illegal enterprises, who acted as a fixer and local node for the network. Decline and fall, federal crackdown, law enforcement pressure, multi-agency task force, and extended FBI investigations in the 1980s and 1990s dismantled much of the network. Major convictions, high-profile trials specifically regarding the Sherry family assassination led to life sentences and long-term racketeering convictions for key leadership, ending the organized era of the original Dixie Mafia. Okay, so I am going to play a little clip for you that Secret Service Sam received from an individual, don't know who it is, and he's talking about, he has key information that he wants to share about the Dixie Mafia, but I think once you hear this clip, you're going to see that it looks like maybe he could have gotten it all off of Google. You know, I don't know if he does have more pertinent information or not as far as the Dixie Mafia refers, and it might be involved in the Nolan Wells case. But I can't understand for any reason why, if you truly knew something personal from a personal level about the Dixie Mafia, why you would go on social media and say, "Hey, yo, man, I know it. I've got the 411. Come holler at me." That would make you like a huge target. So I don't know, but I'm gonna play for the clip. I'm gonna play the clip for you, and you can decide for yourself.
Tag Secret Service Sam it fucking immediately. Secret Service Sam, look, man, come holler at me. You can hop on a phone call with me, right? We ain't even got to do the little internet interview or whatever the case is. We could do a private interview, and you can tell the people all the notes that I give you about the fucking Dixie Mafia, huh? I got you, bro. I got you. You trying to help us out? Come tap in with your boy, right? I could tell you about the killing in 1987 of Judge Vincent Sherry and his wife, Margaret, and the Dixie Mafia members killed the judge and his wife. I can tell you about that assassination. I can give you some facts, bro. Or how Judge Vincent Sherry was also part of the Lonely Heart scam that the Dixie Mafia was running. I can give you some game. Or matter of fact, Secret Service Sam, I can tell you this. Mike Gillich, his nephew. Now, Mike Gillich is part of the Dixie Mafia. His fucking nephew became a fucking mayor of Biloxi. I can tell you all about the corruption and the racism on the coast of Mississippi, Secret Service Sam. Come holler at your boy. At ease.
Now, if you remember my video from the other day where I picked up on a piece of apparently text or email that Secret Service Sam got that speaking about the Dixie Mafia possibly being involved in Nolan Wells's murder.
Yeah. Not only that, though, she's not the only one that's talking about that. The brothers is hip to it too as well. Straight up.
I think we're just tired. We're tired of being gaslit. I'm sick and tired of it, and so is everybody else. You're going to sit here and tell us that this kind of thing doesn't happen in Mississippi anymore, that we're not in the civil rights era. Nah, this shit still happens. 2 years ago, a situation happened. Check this out.
And the state charges, most of them were felonies. As you mentioned, home invasion, obstruction of justice, conspiracy, aggravated assault. This all stems from an incident that happened back in January of last year where a white neighbor in Rankin County called a sheriff's deputy and said that she was concerned about two black men who were entering a white woman's home. At that point, this deputy mobilized what they called the goon squad because they prided themselves on using excessive force. went to that home, entered without a search warrant, and then proceeded to brutally torture these men for a period of 90 minutes, physically, sexually, and psychologically abusing them. And once things had gotten too far, one of those two black men ended up shot in the mouth. The law enforcement officers realized they had to cover it all up. So they planted methamphetamine and a gun, according to court records, and actually charged the men with drug possession. But of course, since then, things have been reversed, and now these men are facing their own jail sentence.
So back to my point, that's the reason why we no longer want to wait for answers.
Right.
We don't want to be patient. We don't want to be quiet.
Nope.
Because we can't trust the system. The system was never built for us. So if the system was never built for us, then how can we ever trust the process? We want it to stop. That's why you have the uproar that you have right now, because we want it to stop. Something has to happen. And I'm glad that white people are starting to hold other white people accountable. That's what we need. I think we're just tired. We're tired of being gaslit. I'm sick and tired of it, and so is everybody else. You're going to sit here and tell us that this kind of thing doesn't happen in Mississippi anymore, that we're not in the civil rights era. Nah, this still happens. 2 years ago, a situation happened. Check this out.
And the state charges, most of them were felonies. As you mentioned, home invasion, obstruction of justice, conspiracy, aggravated assault. This all stems from an incident that happened back in January of last year, where a white neighbor in Rankin County called a sheriff's deputy and said that she was concerned about two black men who were entering a white woman's home. At that point, this deputy mobilized what they called the goon squad, because they prided themselves on using excessive force, went to that home, entered without a search warrant, and then proceeded to brutally torture these men for a period of 90 minutes.
I just want to play that again, just so y'all heard exactly what was said. Like that's cold-blooded right there. And y'all acting like we shouldn't be on what we own. But check this, you know sis be breaking it down. She said the insidious nature of white violence.
It hadn't even been up to a full week, and Judge Ashley Cole posts a Facebook post about Nolan Wells and essentially makes a whole post primarily centered around victimizing herself and her family, overstepping the tragedy of, at this point, the mysterious passing of Nolan Wells, in order to propagate herself and her family as the victim first. That is one of the top key ways of white violence, and that is how the racism works. Even in a situation that you are the perpetrator of, or have a sort of responsibility tied to that thing occurring or happening, the first instinct is to, first of all, get ahead of whatever's happening and proposition yourself as the victim via your whiteness. It is not lost upon me that that's what she did. Because when she goes and talks about we've been getting death threats, and that's one thing, being a judge who has dabbled in family law. Family law is one of probably the most turbulent things that you can be engaged with, because of how people get around their families, their children, wives, husbands, spouses in general. That is very messy. For you to get up on Facebook and then not only say we've been getting death threats, but then give us a video basically scrolling through your DMs to show the quote unquote death threats. I found that to be so manipulative, and the more facts that's coming out, the more theories that are arising, the more time that's passing, that we're able to see the very suspicious and dubious practices of Jackson County and how they're handling Nolan Wells' investigation, the more it's clicking to me that from the jump, she went to defend herself first, above all. She went to go and proposition herself as the victim, taking the spotlight away from the actual tragedy of Nolan, in order to get it in everybody's head that she is the victim first. That has always been a top psychological tactic that I've noticed in white racist people. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, wow, the nerve, the cheek, the audacity, the caucasity. He was like, somebody died. I'm going to go out my way to start now, proposition myself as the victim, so that it can overshadow this case. So now I can now be seen as the helpless victim who's getting targeted. I get to have my pleas thrusted out in the forefront in hopes, or in attempt to tramp over the actual story and the actual plea of Nolan Wells' family, who want justice for him, who want to see a thorough investigation done on his behalf. It's so subtle. It seems innocuous, but it's an intentional, manipulative decision. When we talk about white women tears, this is the originator. This is how that plays out in real life. Getting ahead of the story, pronouncing my victimhood, emphasizing and highlighting my own suffering over the suffering of others, making sure that I am seen as the helpless, innocent, unjustified targets to any hatred towards me, in order to gain that emotional real estate in the hearts and minds of others, so that when it's time to play this out in court, I've already been given such profuse pity because of the way I basically presented myself from the jump.
Right.
that it can possibly sway how this trial, if there is a trial, gets seen, and how I am now seen, how me and my family are now seen and perceived by our community and society at large. It's especially even more disturbing when you see the father now saying that he's going to sue Ben Crump for making his family a target. And I think that's when it clicked for me. Oh, that was what you wanted to do from the jump. You wanted to get ahead of the story, first with Judge Ashley Cole portraying herself as the ultimate victim, trying to garner sympathy from the jump, showing off death threats. I've never seen anyone do that. Everyone says I have death threats. No one goes out their way as if this is your first death threat. No one should get death threats. But as if this was the time to do that, at a time when somebody lost their son, actually, and you're just getting threats. They wanted to have it be the race card. They wanted them, the other side of the family, to be able to play that card so that they can now turn this pursuit for just justice, this pursuit for the truth about what happened to Nolan Wells into woe is me, I'm being targeted because I'm white. Wow. I'm not shocked. This is the play. It's always been the play. But I'm just telling people right now, what they want to do is basically poison the well. They want to cause so much confusion and deflect from the main crux, the main point of all this, was to find out the truth about what happened to Nolan Wells, so that by the time a trial comes, there's so much reasonable doubt, they get off on a technicality. And then they can now show that they have intentional paper trail documentation. A lot of times they've been targeted and they've been threatened. And now this trial is overshadowed by, according to them, the ruining of their lives, the targeting and the threatening of their lives. And that's how they're going to spin it in order for the eyes to not be solely focused on Nolan Wells and what happened to him, but more so too busy wrapped up in basically having to ameliorate the hurt feelings of these white families who happen to be getting, the brunt of public scrutiny because of their suspicious seeming involvement of the mysterious passing of Nolan Wells.
That was an immaculate breakdown. I think the sister is very, very smart. I think that she can actually foresee said tactic, and I think she is right on point. She's right on point. Now, I wanted to get to real quick. We hear from everybody else, but I think it's good that we hear from the lawyer himself, because he knows how to speak and he knows how to talk about the case. And shout out to Dialogue. He's going to spit the interview all the way through. And so we get to hear from the lawyer, from the lawyer's mouth, what up. You know what I'm saying? I think this is very important. Again, shout out to Dialogue. Go follow and subscribe to them. The Art of Dialogue.
There was a young lady named Katie who said that, she was talking to Nolan, but then he got back on the boat with the people he came with, or got back on the boat with the boys. And the boys who were on the boat with him said, Nolan said he was going to stay behind with Katie, and that he was not going to go back with them. One of the things that has been bewildering is the fact that if he says he's going to stay behind, why doesn't an 18-year-old get their cell phone? If they're not going to go with the boat, why would they leave it with them? His mother, called his phone 3 times, got no answer after they started getting concerned. And it was when they did the Life 360, trying to say, find my phone, is when she found out that the phone were with the friends. And so her friend went to get the phone. And when they got the phone back, they discovered that there were a lot of Snapchat messages that were deleted. They also found that there were some texts deleted. So that was very concerning to them as they're trying to figure out, what happened to my child? Our child is dead and we have no answers. Nobody's telling us anything. And so it became just an incredibly painful ordeal for them, trying to find out what happened to Nolan Wells. And then America became engaged in this matter because it wasn't adding up to anybody. He says, I'm going to stay behind, but he leaves his cell phone. He doesn't have his car keys. Well, if he stands behind and you don't have any of that information, people are saying, did he stay behind? And so that becomes a question. And, obviously there's this CETO audio that comes out that people have did forensic audio engineering on it to try to see what was being said on the audio recording of the CETO counter 911 type call. And it's in that call that people say they hear certain things. We have retained audio engineering experts to be able to decipher and to render expert opinions on the validity of the CETO 911 audio that seems to suggest things about the presence of Nolan.
And listen, man, I said it ever since we heard that audio. You know, I know he ain't pooping on the audio, but I sure can't stand the fact that because a black woman did the audio first, now it's questionable. Now it's janky. Now it's altered. Now it's inauthentic. Get the hell out of here. Just get out of here. The audio is good. And I'm glad that she brought it to the forefront so that we can hear it. You know what I'm saying? He said, where can we hear the audio at? You can go back to some of these episodes, yo girl, BB, because we didn't play it on here a couple times. Maybe I might get around to it just so we can all hear it again, but welcome to the channel. Yeah, I didn't play it on a couple programs back. Go check it out. I've been following this thing. We've been thugging it out on this. We trying to get to the bottom of what's going on. But you know what I'm saying? I don't like how they trying to do my sister with the audio. I just don't like it. Like you know what I'm saying? Because any one of us could have made the audio and they would have been saying the same thing. Just because somebody black made it, I don't like that. That shit's whack.
And so we are trying not to speculate. We're trying to investigate.
Right.
But we are asking questions that don't add up to us. And that's what everybody's been doing, because everybody says, how can this 18-year-old college football player who's in tip-top shape just go missing and nobody knows anything? Nobody's seen anything. And the sheriff within, hours after he was discovered, his dead body, they claimed that, that no foul play, accidental drowning is what they suggest.
Right.
And his family are saying, we can't accept that when you make that conclusion without doing no investigations. And so what they want is a full, impartial, fair investigation into what happened to Nolan Wells. In our community, we see people investigate it very zealously. And so we want the same thing for our children.
Right.
We want them to zealously investigate this matter, just as if they would if the roles were reversed. And that's what I think has people in the minority community.
Yeah, like I say, if Nolan was Natalie, we see a whole different thing going on.
Community saying, hold on, we want to know what's on everybody's phone. We want to know social media, because all of that could become very relevant information as to what happened to Nolan Wells.
He's
Correct
doing it
me
with
if
the
I'm
art of
wrong,
dialogue.
But the woman that Nolan was hanging out with when he was at the island, Katie, her sister, Gracie, came out and said that Nolan intended to go back to the mainland with his friends, right?
Yeah, there seems to be a conflict in what they're saying. They said he stayed with the young lady. The young lady said, no, he got back on the boat. And so, that seems to be one of the biggest issues that everybody is trying to figure out, as well as the independent autopsy where he had red discoloration at the back of his brain that was found in the second autopsy, and also the fact that the initial state medical examiner kept possession of Nolan Wells' throat. And we don't know why they did that. Our pathologist, Dr. Roger Mitchell, said when he was the chief medical examiner for the city of Washington, D.C., that they normally would do that it wasn't uncommon if they suspected that there might be some fracture or some compressions to the throat.
So after y'all did the autopsy, from what you know, what do you believe that was on the back of his neck?
We can't speculate. We know that we think Dr. Roger Mitchell should have the benefit of looking at all the autopsy notes and observations and photographs from the first autopsy, and then have, the state medical examiner be able to look at all of his notes from the second autopsy and try to work together to figure out what conclusions that they can draw from the autopsies, both of them. And then also waiting for toxicology. That becomes a factor in finding out the manner and cause of death. But Dr. Mitchell said, and this is very, very important, he said, if it's a drowning, then that still doesn't answer the whole question of what happened to Nolan Wells, because he said then there are questions about, was Nolan Wells' condition of his body conscious or unconscious when he went into the water? Furthermore, he said, did he go into the water unforced or forced? He said all those things become factors.
Makes a lot of sense. And I know his friend Warren Hudson, he came out with an interview where he made a statement about how Nolan, he was drinking liquor on the boat. You heard about that?
Well, we don't know. We want the toxicology to come. We know when you hear the CETO audio call, it appears that there was some intoxication. But again, toxicology can tell us that. And people's firsthand eyewitness testimony can tell us that. We want answers. As I've said over and over again, I am for truth, no matter who it implicates or who it exonerates. I am for justice, no matter who it convicts or who it acquits. And I am certainly for transparency, so all of us can see, and we can have trust in the system that this was a fair, impartial, and complete investigation. That's what everybody would want if this was their child.
Y'all can say what y'all want about Ben Crump. Cuz is still a lawyer. First of all, what you got to go through to become a lawyer? If it was that easy, everybody be doing it. That's first off. Second of all, say what you want about him, but he spoke clear and concise about what it is and what it ain't. He didn't blame nobody. But you felt exactly every word that he just said. He broke that down straight up. For real, for real. Like, say what you want about Ben Crump, but that was masterful what he said. Like, did you not understand what he said? Did he not put it back on the listeners, heart? Like, what would you do if it was yours? I want the same thing you would do if it was yours. That's all I'm asking. Not for nothing more, nothing less. And that, yeah, he's very, very matter of fact. That boy, hey, he cold. You got to give it up to him. Everybody doesn't have the same speech pattern and the same thought process and I could understand speaking a little bit slower when you have to think about what you got to say. You know what I'm saying? When it actually really matters. Come on now. I mean, you say what you want to say. You do what you want to do. But the boy, now. Sam even had to drop a little something though on the give, send, go side of the game.
Sam here for a Nolan Xavier Wells update. And this give, send, go, I'm just going to read it. Stand with Nolan Wells' targeted friends. On Independence Day weekend of 2026, lives were changed forever when a group of friends lost their best friend, Nolan Wells. No family should have to endure the pain of losing a son, and no friend should have to grieve the loss of a brother. But instead of being allowed to mourn, what followed was an unprecedented online campaign of accusations, harassment, threats, and defamation. Since Nolan's death, Warren Hudson, Jack Spatalo, Morgan Seymour, and many others have been inundated with death threats, threats of violence, and defamation. They have been falsely and wrongfully blamed by individuals online and in the media of either directly or indirectly having a hand in Nolan's death. Most of them could not even attend their own best friend's funeral. Why? Because race baiters sent a deranged army after them online in the name of justice. Since the beginning of the investigation, these young men have cooperated with authorities, turned over all information they had, and provided an overwhelming number of witnesses accounting for their whereabouts. Some of them even resorted to speaking up publicly to defend themselves against baseless allegations. But unfortunately, it has become clear that the truth doesn't matter. Countless large voices across social media declared them guilty of crimes they could not have committed and have never been charged with. Their names, faces, and personal information were spread across the internet. They and their families have received thousands of hateful messages, death threats, and calls for violence. They have been threatened online and in person countless times. There have been bomb threats, packages sent, and credible threats of which arrests have been made. Parents have feared for their children's safety. Lives have been turned upside down, and some have had to go into hiding. Al Sharpton, Ben Crump, and the usual suspects of social media personalities, national news media, and local provocateurs continue to invent and spread false narratives and lies with no accountability. This is the typical tactic of Ben Crump and the like. They come to communities like the Gulf Coast under the guise of seeking justice, but it has become painfully clear that their vision of justice is stirring division, ruining lives, and then leaving when the money is all dried up. We have seen this same pattern time and time again, most recently during the Carmelo Anthony trial. No matter what anyone believes about an ongoing investigation, our legal system exists for a reason.
Hey, listen, y'all getting a master class right now in media propaganda and like turning the tables. Y'all getting a master class. Y'all seeing it like right out in the open. Think about what we're really dealing with. A mother lost her child and want answers, but instead of giving answers, they arresting people all across the country for fictitiously threatening the people that are involved all of a sudden. When you got all the officials talking about ain't nothing happening. This is crazy. It's real crazy, B. It's on the real crazy side of the game. If you just really think about it.
Evidence belongs in the hands of the law enforcement and the courts and not online mob campaigns fueled by rumors, edited clips, edited audio, speculation, or misinformation. This must stop. This fund is created for the sole purpose of fighting these individuals. Our goal is simple and twofold. Our first goal is to raise money to defend these friends against oncoming wrongful death actions filed by attorney Ben Crump and his team. Our second goal is to fund a robust legal team to sue for the litany of slander and libel being spread by not only Crump, but also many social media influencers, news outlets, and local provocateurs who know better. If litigation becomes necessary, this fund will help provide the financial support needed to investigate claims, retain legal counsel, preserve evidence, and hold accountable those who cross the line from expressing opinions and a conduct the law may recognize as actionable in any jurisdiction we can find them. This is not about silencing legitimate discussion or respectful disagreement. People are free to ask questions and express opinions. This is about drawing a line against defamation, targeted harassment, threats of violence, doxing, intimidation, and coordinated campaigns that destroy lives before the facts are known.
And listen, I'm finna show y'all right now. Listen to me. Since I put up these reels, y'all, you wouldn't believe how many times I have seen they trying to forward these reels, these devil reels. So this is what they trying to raise money for. They trying to say, because I think that they devils, I got to go down. You wouldn't believe how many times now I'm starting to see that in the comment. But you know what I noticed though? The only ones that I'm seeing it in the comments on is 3 people. I'm seeing it on Bart. Nobody put it on Tristan's. I ain't seen nothing on Tristan. I ain't seen nothing on none of the other friends yet. But I started seeing them when I put up this, they golden boy, Mr. Bart right here. Oh man, these folks start going. I'm talking about, I start getting inboxes and all of that. Maybe I could damn near do a show off the inboxes I get from these folks. I need to blow up the comment section and like put it on like a slide, because it's got like a slideshow. I'm gonna take a bunch of pictures of the comment section and we gonna go through the comment section, right? But I'm talking about these folks have been at me. I'm talking about I didn't amassed over 1 million something views in the last 30 days. Way more than that. Oh, and my engagement, like these folks, they're triggered. They are triggered. Rigger, diggerty do. Like this, and look, that's why, and me, my petty ass, I done pinned them up to the top. I made sure that when you click on my page, you see them first. I'm super petty. I don't give a damn. Come on down. The price is right. I ain't even tripping. I put it right up there at the tippity. Straight for you. But anyway, let me let him finish breaking down, because this lawsuit is talking about me. Remember they said to go after people in any jurisdiction, no matter where they be. So they could like potentially come after me too. Man, go ahead and give me the publicity. Go ahead, bust me out. Because my opinion ain't got nothing. Just because it hurts your feelings. Yeah, just because it hurts your feelings don't mean nothing. You can't do nothing with that. Yep, I think you're devils. And what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Y'all wouldn't be devils if y'all didn't make the devilish moves that y'all done been making thus far. I can call your behavior devilish. Come on now. Sheesh.
In a respectful disagreement, people are free to ask questions and express opinions. This is about drawing a line against defamation, targeted harassment, threats of violence, doxing, intimidation, and coordinated campaigns that destroy lives before the facts are known. We know the risk of some of you may feel outwardly supporting Warren, Jags, Morgan, and others. We understand better than anyone the threats you face. We know that although you know the truth, publicly supporting these young men may cause social discomfort or cancellation. But we also know that you're tired. You're tired of the lies. You're tired of the hate and the division. You're tired of judgment before all the facts come out. You're tired of seeing these dividers get away with it time and time again and feeling too powerless or voiceless to stop it. But this is it. This is the moment and the cause that helped make a difference. Not a difference just in these boys' lives, but as a message that we're all tired of the grift. Your donation says that enough is enough. Your donation says at the time of exploiting tragedy under the guise of justice and leaving a community in ruins after squeezing as much money out as possible, it's over. Nolan deserved dignity, not this. So although we ask humbly for your support, this onslaught of lies and defamation, we also ask with as much compassion we can muster, because we are too tired, we are too heavy laden. But right is right and wrong is wrong. Haven't I heard that somewhere before? If you believe in truth, due process, and holding people accountable through the rule of law and not through internet mobs, we ask for your support. Thank you. Oh my gosh.
Right.
This is literally irony personified. Secret Service.
God, man. Do y'all see the tactics? What is it called? VSOP? What did we learn the other day? What's it called? VSOP or something? How they reverse it? What was it called, y'all? We might have to I might have to revisit that because I forgot what we learned, and that was exactly what they were doing. I feel it. I might not remember exactly what the acronym was and what we learned, but I feel that was it. Like, that was it. We learned that. And you ain't going to get me with that again. I'm not having it. Now, did y'all know it was a trial date, a jury date? There, Lil Baxter from down there, she been keeping up with it.
Nolan Wells grand jury update. They will reconvene in October. October? What does that sound like to you? Sounds like don't y'all come up here and get my toes. Buck, buck, go away. Sounds like somebody gonna get charges. Usually when they need...
She didn't go buck, buck, did she? Did she go buck, buck? Is she buck, chicken heads?
Charges. Usually when they need that much time, it's because they got enough significant evidence that they really want to get things right. Am I wrong? I think I'm right on that. Hold on. Google's my best friend. Let me go look it up. Look at that pretty baby.
Oh, wow.
If you bite my toe. Hey, pretty boy. Hey. Anyways, so basically, in my opinion, some of these boys about to go down for some stuff that everybody thinks that they didn't do.
You know, this is one time that I'm glad we don't have smell-o-vision, because can't you imagine what that car smell like, let alone the seat? I know that's a terrible thing to think about, but it looks like there's an aroma up in there. It looks like there's a real strong one. Darvo, thank you. Darvo Tactics, thank you. Devin, thank you. Mr. Smith, thank you. Thank you. That was perfect. I appreciate you. But it do look like there's a certain type of tinge in that, in a little tingy, like a little tinger up in there. I don't know. It's just me. It was a wild thought. It's a wild thought. Don't mind me.
But yeah, allegedly, of course. I wonder if that guy that's name starts and sounds with fart is gonna go down for anything. I wonder if the judge's son is gonna go down for anything, or any of them for that matter. The girl, who's in trouble? What do you guys think about it in the comments? Let me know. I love y'all. Bye. Nolan Wells grand.
You know what I'm saying? It's serious. It's serious out here in these streets. Listen, since I was gone today, you know, I didn't did a lot of scouring. Oh, I've done a lot of scouring. Scouring I've done, guys. And I had one little piece put together for y'all. This one's a crazy one. Do y'all want to see a coon factory? There is literally a factory of coons out here, y'all. I'm talking about in my scouring journeys, okay? There is a factory of coons. Oh my God. Y'all should just hear them talking about this Nolan Wells case. You should hear it, buddy. Oh my gosh. It is so cringerific. Like cringe-tastic. Like we're watching and putting together we are watching the same videos. It's just that they get something totally different out of it. Like the coonocracy is crazy. Like it should be studied. And oh man, it's bad. But I'm gonna give y'all a taste, because hey, like I say, sometimes you got to hear what the opposition is on. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to hear what's going on. Now look at all of their faces real quick. Now this is where y'all should be on the landscape version because it's 5 people. If you can only see 3 people right now, then that means you on the portrait version. There's 2 parts of the stream. So that means you got to click on my face, subscribe, and go to the channel and pick the landscape joint, and you can see all 5 of these people talking, right? But wait a minute, wait a minute, bro. Right? Check. I'm gonna give you a taste now. You're gonna have to be ready for this.
To do what they did is because Chris Cuomo set the tone. When she says stories are not lining up, why didn't he say which stories? Can you give us an example of a story that isn't lining up? They never, ever press these people. He supposedly is supposed to be calling balls and strikes and right down the middle.
Not a fan at all.
Absolutely no, you are not. And he would say, beyond, we understand that you.
Now, what they're talking about is that interview that we watched, and they saying that Chris Cuomo didn't go hard enough on the family and their quote unquote lies. Now, obviously, you can probably tell what side of the fence these people lie on, but I'm gonna just let them talk for a minute. Just listen.
Like every parent in your situation want the truth. But our question is this: why doesn't he say, if you want Ben Crump to turn over every stone and look under every rock, why have you not responded to the parents of the best friend of the boat who were with your son on the day possibly last seen alive? Why do you not think they have anything that they could offer either in the solving of the case or maybe as a matter of comfort?
Now, where they got that from is Officer Race Batum Tatum that put up that text from Ashley Cole, supposedly the night that the stuff happened, reaching out, and why didn't, Miss Walmsley respond to that text? That's what they talking about. But you hear where they're going with this? Listen.
I'd want to know about my child's last minutes or that last day. Just maybe I could get some comforting piece of information out of that. I don't know. But the fact is, you'd have to, honey, heaven and high water couldn't keep me from running to their door trying to ask them what happened, what kind of mood was he in, what did you see, how does he, did he look, whatever it was. And because I'd also, since I've evolved and turned this into a national issue, want to run ahead of anything that could be negative on my son. Well, how much was he drinking? Well, what were you all doing? You know what I mean? I'd want, go ahead, tell me now. I don't want to find out in the news. Tell me now. Let me get my mind ready to accept and understand that. All of that stuff is the reason that
why everybody, including PP, but why they keep making it seem like liquor is this big thing? Everybody was drinking on the 4th of July. Every adult and close to adults, 18, 19, 20s, everybody had something to drink on the 4th of July, man. What you talking about, man? What are you talking about?
I would do it. But I have figured out Ben Crump's involvement. Ben Crump is involved with this family because when you look at this setup with the 3 of them sitting there, because this woman is being led by a weak man.
Yes.
This is exactly why. And if you look at his other national cases, most of those cases have been single moms. And in this case, because I'm thinking, why isn't this father taking control of this foolishness? Once he spoke, I was like, I understand why. Maybe the truth is the woman is the leader in that family. And if so, I can understand why.
That is crazy. So now Nolan must got a punk ass dad because Ben Crump's around and he takes advantage of single mother. What kind of logic is that? But you know what they doing though? They saying the stuff that they know white tea people want to hear. That, I mean, there's no other reason that they're saying this stuff. And the thing is they get so good at it that they can talk it out first mind without even thinking like the real way. That's what's scary about it to me. This, you know what I'm saying? What's scary about it is they're able to shoot it off. You know, look at them. They all sitting up in their little, little coon nests, all cackling. What? Like, that's the scary thing. Let me let them cook.
You had to choose. Yes. This is why people like Crump and have been able to get a foothold in here, and now they're being held because, see, they have already agreed to too much.
Yeah.
They can't come out now and be. They got to stay with the program.
And it's not lost on me. Her name is Celeste Duffy, and that sounds super tetheristic to me. I'm smelling all type of clay cookies, dirt cookies, all type of Caribbean Bibian, all type of Bibian. It's not lost on me. Celeste, what I say her name was? Celeste Duffy. Oh, all type of Ribian Von Bibian. All type of it. What is she talking about?
Program. They have already agreed to too much.
I want every one of these young men, when everything comes out, I want every one of them to sue Ben Crump and all of them. And I say that because they will not learn their lesson.
Do y'all hear this big? See, y'all gotta be on the landscape, because y'all need to be able to see. Hold on, let me bring this down, because y'all gotta be able to see the dude at the top with that nose talking about some sue. I had to move the chat real quick. This dude up there at the top right, y'all got to get on the landscape so y'all can see dude at the top right. Caribbean amphibian. Listen. This dude up in the top right, his name is Danzel Monk Sr. Oh my God. Sue. These people, let me bring that back. You should have seen his face.
Once he spoke, I was like, I understand why. Maybe the truth is the woman is the leader in that family. And if so, I can understand why. If you had to choose.
Look at the dude in the top right corner. If y'all can see
this is why people like Crump and have been able to get a foothold in here, and now they're being held because, see, they have already agreed to too much.
Yeah.
They can't come out now and be. They got to stay with the program. They have already agreed to too much.
I want every one of these young men, when everything comes out, I want every one of them to sue Ben Crump and all of them. And I say that because they will not learn their lesson, because Ben Crump has been known to fabricate and fan the flames of the fire, and then disappear when things don't turn out, quote unquote, the way he expected it to turn out. He gets real quiet and he disappears. You don't ever hear an apology. You don't ever hear any crap or nothing. He should be sued for everything that they're putting these people to. This man, this father. First of all, I'm still confused as to why Nolan's last name was Wells, because Wells is her maiden name. I'm still confused as to why her son has the maiden name and not the father's last name. That's not
Wells is the maiden name.
Wells is her maiden name. Maybe that's not his biological father.
They say it is, because I'm looking it up. They
but
said
she's
it
the
is,
dominant one in the family, though.
But his name is Wansley. That's their last name. Their last name is Wansley. That is her married name. That shows me weakness, because my child don't have my last name. That's just weird. So that right there in itself is problematic. I'm just troubled by all of this, because he sat there and he says, we just, as any parent, we would want to know the truth. If you wanted to know the truth, then you would want to hear everything. everything.
Everything. That's right.
You wouldn't want to just be focused on one area. You would want to hear everything. You would want to sit with the families because, like we said, they have been caught in fabrications a few times. I don't know this person. No one has reached out to me. No one called me. No one told me. And then, thank God for Tatum sitting down. No, I called. I was the one who reached out to the Coast Guard. I was this. I was that. So when you're saying you didn't know, again, it makes us look at you like, ma'am, sir, y'all are doing entirely too much. And this is why I said, you know, when you see grieving parents and
what what are you talking about? I tried to let it go as I ain't finna get a name of their little stupid little whatever they're doing. I just want y'all to know that these is not bots. This is not AI. These is real Negroids looking Negroid type people. Look at old girl forehead. You can tell the Bibian all up in her. She got a 16 head. She ain't got boy. Anyway, this you can tell that you said you heard her talk about Tatum. Thanks God for Tatum's interview. This is real deal, y'all. These type of peoples is out there, B. They out there, cuz. They out there.
I was hesitant to speak about it because I was like, you know, they're grieving and so on and so forth. And then I was like, is Ben Crump manipulating them? But at the end of the day, Ben Crump could never manipulate me because I have my own mind.
Amen.
So even in my grief, I've been in this community with these people this entire time. My son has grown up with these people. These people have been friends with my son since they were kids. So I knew this woman since we were in middle school or whatever. I've known these people forever. No, don't come in this community and do that. We just want them to do a full investigation.
Oh, that was, did y'all pick up on that? She said these people, which would be referring to her in her proximity to whiteness, and she said, don't come in this community because she said we is what she said. Did you hear that? Man, she was Betty Bow nuts with that. Betty Bow bottom. Betty bottom drop. Okay.
That's all we need. It makes me look at the parents a certain type of way when you bring in the charlatans, the race grifters, that everybody knows that they are charlatans and race grifters. It makes me look at you and your judgment. Why would you have somebody like that around you? Again, I am sorry that you lost your son. That doesn't take away from the fact of what you're doing. You can be angry and sin not. You should stop and want to hear all sides before you start spouting out things, before you hear anything else. Proverbs warns you about doing stuff like that. And people like that, they disturb my spirit.
My only challenge I have to the parents, this is the same thing for the Carmelo Anthony situation. In 2026, not every single incident is something that the LAPD has done wrong to a black person, right? I think you do more harm to the case of truthfully seeking out justice when you come out here on a platform and stoke these flames. You taint the jury pool, you taint the evidence, and you just completely mess up any justice that can come from the system when you're going on all of these shows. But for you to say no to someone who had a request because you want to go onto a platform that's biased, but you want individuals to stop speaking out against your family or saying whatever things they're saying to you, which I obviously don't condone, maybe go up on those platforms that's going to have people saying these things. If you actually have the truth on your side, what on God's green earth do you have to hide? They should have gone on to Officer Tatum before and going on to Cuomo because they're just feeding into this us.
Oh, so it shouldn't have went on Nancy Grace is what he's saying, because Nancy Grace questions him. And I think he's talking about Officer Tatum. So these is Officer Tatum fans, I guess. Just get a good look at them. Just get a good look at them. These is them folks. Here, this for those that's on the portrait joint. Get a good look at them folks, man. Y'all see them all one time. That's the whole 5 of them. See, that's why y'all should be over here on the landscape, because you could see them already. See, but I can't keep them up like that. You see what I'm saying? But look above. That's the 5 people that's talking right there. Busters 1 through 5. Anyway, yeah, I know this is but like I tell y'all, man, it's the yin and yang, man. It's unfortunate that, you know, there are those of us that are willing to work for the other side in such a capacity. You know what I'm saying? That's a shame, right? But then that also proves that we're not just one big Negro too. We're not a monolith. You know what I'm saying? And there's you know, I think this is like the extreme side of the other side of Negro, right? And one could say, you know what I'm saying, that we're on the farther side of Negro, right? It could be said. But you know, we all different. And like I say, sometimes you gotta hear it's a little cringe, you don't want to hear it, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes you gotta hear what we up against. Like, you can't, G.I. Joe taught you that knowing is half the battle. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? G.I. Joe taught you that. Knowing is half the battle. If you know, right? I would encourage y'all to be stealth and go look at some posts that you don't look at. Like, you might hear a post that makes you know how sometimes we got that confirmation bias and you hear something that you don't really want to hear and you scroll past it. I encourage you to not only not scroll past it, listen to it, look in the comments and see what people is saying. Can you take that? Is you that flimsy that you can't take it? You got to see what you're made of. You got to test your jaw a little bit. Otherwise, you're going to get knocked out here. You got to test your jaw. It's all about what your jaw can hold. You know what I'm saying? How you know you got a jaw if you don't never test it? You ain't never been in the test, but you swear you got a rock rib jaw. You swear, you know what I mean? I mean. You swear that you got it going on, but you ain't never seen what's up. Yeah, they all look super angry. It looks like it's tearing them up inside that they can't be accepted by the normal part of Black society. The ones that's fighting for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Love, life, loyalty, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Those kind of things. You see? As much as we fight for that, you're still going to have people out there on chaos, mayhem, destruction, demonism, foul, underhanded, trifling. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. I don't want to hear no more of the Busters, though. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I didn't made my point with them. I ain't gonna subject you to no more. That is too much. You can only take so much now. You can only take so much. I think somebody had asked about the call, and I did have this video lined up. Shout out to Kimmy's World.
So the state of Mississippi is supposed to release the autopsy findings of the Nolan Wells death investigation today to the family. Now, why is this so important? For the past week, we have been hearing audio enhancements of the CTO call of the fatal day of July the 4th from the boys who were on the boat. Now, according to the boys' attorneys, there was one attorney coming forward stating that the audio recording is not real.
Call that purports to have a background conversation that is suggested sounds like people explaining the murder of Nolan. What is the legitimacy of the audio? The word Bart is in there, and I know real people with real platforms are pointing the finger at your client.
Now, Cuomo, he's a turncoat, and he's probably finna be next on the devil's list. I think I'm about to get Cuomo because he's flip-flop, wishy-washy. You had these folks on your whole platform, and you was acting all gracious and this, that, and the other. Then you're gonna sit around with this funky, crusty YT dude and act like the validity of that sister's audio recording ain't nothing. You're garbage for that.
Yeah, so we don't see any legitimacy in a doctored transcript or a doctored audio that comes with a transcript, which is a nice psychological sort of game that people play with garbled audio. I'll tell you this. My client's role was to help drain water off of a boat that reported it being in distress. There were 20 plus people separated between those two boats. All of them saw what he did. All of them saw what did and didn't happen. There were 2 credible witnesses at least that saw Nolan Wells on Horn Island an hour and a half after those 2 boats left. And my client...
Now, all of a sudden, after the DA can't release no information, everything's going to the grand jury. Please don't rush us in this thorough investigation. Don't rush the law. We trying to do everything we can possibly to get down to the bottom of this. All of a sudden, after a whole damn month, right after the audio the sister put together, now there was 2 credible witnesses that say Nolan was on the island. Ain't that something though? Ain't that something? Ain't that something? That's fascinating to me. I am flabbergasted. Come on, man. Really? Just now? Oh, y'all got 2 of them, huh? Okay.
Cooperated with the authorities from the very beginning, never required a warrant, allowed for the inspection of his boat, his GPS, his phone, gave list of witnesses, and answered every question that was asked. So yeah, people are...
Yeah, so basically what y'all heard on the phone call, y'all did not hear somebody say, damn it, Bart. Shout out my mans for keeping that alive in the chat. You didn't hear that. You didn't hear that. Is something wrong with all y'all ears? Y'all should never trust y'all lying ears. That's your problem. Y'all don't even hear right. It's too much wax in there. I told you not to be using them Q-tips. That's your problem right there. See? See, y'all don't be hearing right. That's the problem.
Just fabricating things wildly. And the consequence of that is that you've got people who are in legitimate fear for their lives.
They so in fear for they just so in fear for their lives. They're just, and that's the grand gaslight right there. You want to know why that's the grand gaslight right there? Because nobody did what they did to put them into position to be looked at like they're looked at, but them. So here we go again, blaming other people for their actions. Darvo, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Just, oh my God. You guys are getting on us for doing some shady stuff for our friend Nolan. Oh my God.
So basically, he went onto this platform and stated that these are fabrications. What we've been listening to, what we've been seeing for the past week, is been a fabrication. Well, Race Tatum went on to the Nancy Grace show And he wanted to do the same thing, but he tried to dance and dress it up and make it all cute with a little bow. And of course, Nancy Grace, like she did the time before last when she had him, had him doing the exact same thing. It's not true. Allegedly. Now take a listen.
Was the version that we are playing tonight altered in any way by the Crime Stories staff?
No. What we did, Nancy, is we used an old school technique to bring out the audio in the background. You know, you have AI enhancements now that are, you just cannot trust the AI because it inserts its own thoughts into it, you know? But when you when you go old school on this, you isolate and filter. You use an EQ, equalization, to filter, to cut out the low rumble below 80 hertz. You cut out the high hiss above 8 hertz. This gives you the chance to hear that background a little more clearly. Then you boost the mid-range frequency. That's between 300 hertz and 3400 hertz. That matches the mid-range of human speech. Then you apply a simple high-pass filter that removes the constant deep humming or any other extraneous noises that are constant. And this does not alter the content. It merely enhances the content. So when you ask, did we edit or alter? No. We merely enhanced it using basic tools that are used in every production department around the world.
So what is that telling me? That's telling me that the audio enhancement is authentic.
Yep.
And the tactics that are going around right now to shut content creators down and everybody,
Yep.
to me, it serves as a bigger cover up,
Yep.
in my opinion. And I'm going to put out here, allegedly.
Yep.
Child, even my name is alleged.
Yep.
All I have to say is, it's so funny how God worked. Because just think, we're gonna just riddle me with this. It just so happened. Let's go on a little walk and tell a story. Just so happened that allegedly Nolan was in distress or something was happening to him during the same time the boat was malfunctioning and going under. So allegedly they had to make a phone call to Sea Tow. Didn't know all of this was being picked up in the background. Is he dead? Is Nolan dead? Y'all saw the transcripts. You saw the transcripts of the audio call. It just so happened God allowed all of this to happen so we can hear. Because if it wasn't for this audio enhancement, if it wasn't for these content creators and these audio engineers coming forward to decipher what they heard, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. Y'all wouldn't be watching this. What we will be awaiting right now is the autopsy result. And allegedly, the autopsy result may be saying that he was intoxicated and could have had some type of known substance in his system that led to his death. But now we're making the state of Mississippi take a closer look. We're making people do their jobs.
Yeah.
That's all anybody wants. Nobody's trying to assassinate nobody's character.
Right.
At the end of the day, ain't none of us bigger than the program.
Come on now.
Nolan Wells is no longer here. We can live to see another day. His parents can live to see another day. They lost their child. You will be enraged too.
Enraged.
So let the evidence come out. Let these people do what they have to do. These professionals, I'm not an audio enhancement engineer type person. And a lot of y'all ain't either. So Nancy Grace just said, had an expert come on. It's legit. It's legit. So anyway, y'all drop down in the comment area. Let me know what you think about this whole.
Thank you, Kimmy's World, for sure. Make sure I put a little like on that. A little liggity like. Let me see what we got going on here. So yeah, somebody asked about the audio earlier. So we just go ahead and run through it one time.
Sam here with a Nolan Xavier Wells update. And Gianetta Brantley has done God's work, and she has separated the audio from the emergency call. And just a trigger warning, you guys, this could be the incriminating evidence we've been looking for. Listen to this.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our village pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can you all please come? We have a membership. Shut up! Shut the fuck up!
It's really hard to hear. Use your own ears. See if you hear what she transcribed here.
I heard
again at the very
Bart.
end. Allegedly, a strong allegedly here.
Nah.
You hear "damn it, Bart," but Bart was supposed to be out of town and not there. So I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know if this is a break in the case, but Attorney Ben Crump, please listen to this audio. Let us know what you think, guys, but this does not sound good at all. I love you guys. Secret Service Sam out Samson for president of the world. Service Sam here.
Did y'all get that? Did y'all hear that? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's super crucial. Super duper crucial. Real as hell out here in the film. Y'all know that there's somebody, it's the second person that got arrested for Ashley Cole, the little judge. I mean, they really playing this up. Wait a minute, hold on. Check this out real quick.
Made 2 arrests on people who have made threats. The first one was an arrest because somebody made threats against Judge Ashley Cole. And this one is to a woman out there in Cincinnati who was calling over there to Jackson to the sheriff's department and making threats of tick, tick, booming. The sheriff's department, yet we don't have no type of arrest made.
All type of white
in
people.
Nolan Wells' death.
Right.
We don't have no type of information on what happened to Nolan Wells. We don't know anything about Nolan, yet we finding out about lawsuits and we're finding out about people being arrested for making threats. Oh, y'all know what's coming next. So you mean to...
Come on, yeah. Yeah, I know what it is. Darvo. Y'all know what it is. Listen, I found something interesting. Y'all know the girl Kim that they done sent the cease and desist to? Well, I want y'all to see this vision. I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm gonna see what y'all say about what she's saying now about the case. Because she was all out front, bold about it. But look how she talking now. She says, are we to ruin more kids' futures because their parents are irresponsible?
That's why I do not believe those kids went out there to try to murder their black friend that day. And I never did believe that, okay? I do believe that it was an accident and it was a cover-up. So it's like, are we to ruin 3 to 5 or 7 other kids, 18-year-old kids' futures because their parents are fucking horrible people? Just because you got in a fight. Like, look what happened with Carmelo. Like, I don't think Carmelo deserved 35 fucking years for that. That was ridiculous. Kids fight, accidents happen. Sometimes, unfortunately, sometimes people lose fights. This time, Nolan lost. It was wrong, but the cover-up with the adults is way more culpable. The negligence with the Coast Guard, all that shit is way more. That's why I was saying, look, I would let all the kids skate if the adults can come down and take some responsibility.
What? No, I want everybody to get theirs. I'll let the kids skate. If we could get the kids, the adults, the dogs. No. If the parakeet was around there squawking at the wrong time, he gotta go too. Not none of that. No. What you talking about, Kimmy? You switched up there on the shorty, didn't you? A little bit there, huh? On the switch up side of the game? Interesting. Sure enough funky now. I'm just saying. That was all right. Is that the same Kim? Yeah, that's the same Kim. Yeah. Man, oh man. Is that you? Damn. Oh, okay. You done came out of a bag, didn't you? Like them old people say, oh, you done came out of a bag. Hold up. Speaking of coming out of a bag. Speaking of coming out of bag, because I told y'all who next on the devil's list. Talking about coming out of a bag.
I'm telling you, you better check yourself before you wreck yourself. I'm leaving the show. I do not know why people are relying on audio that we have no reason to believe is real.
No reason. All of a sudden, Big Will, what up, brother? Look, all of a sudden, there's no reason to believe that the audio is real. You see that? All of a sudden, the audio ain't real.
And now you got a kid who was just trying to help out his friends on a boat, and they're accusing him of murder?
Now you got a kid. Bart is a kid. Bart is the grownest one. Bart is a kid. You see how they do? He just had a kid trying to help out.
Taking pictures of his life and splashing it all over the place.
Taking pictures of his life and splashing it all over the place. You sick people.
And saying he's part of what happened to Nolan Wells? I mean, look, I get it. I get that it works. But at some point, doesn't there have to be some kind of measure of responsibility on social media? I get that true.
What are you talking about? What? The responsibility for who? You talking about the responsibility that the people are involved is ducking? Going all around the world talking to everybody, but who they should. You talking about that responsibility? Oh, this is the Darvo is Harvo. The Darvo is Marcia Largo. Fast, quick, in your face with the BS. Yeah. The Darvo is Marcia Largo. I mean, wow. This whole thing is just taking such a weird turn. How are we talking about these folks? And the boy's dead without no throat. We talk about the folks, but my man ain't got a throat. What? This is crazy. And Chris Como, he foul.
Crime is about tasty and emotional. I get that it works, but at some point, doesn't there? and saying he's part of what happened to Nolan Wells. I mean, look, I get it. I get that it works. But at some point, doesn't there have to be some kind of measure of responsibility on social media? I get that true crime is about tasty and emotionally driving narratives. But that's why we started Cuomo Crime Time. This shit has to die. This has got to be about due process and truth and transparency.
It has to die? You could basically, translation, you Negroes need to stop talking about this. You Negroes is getting a little bit too uppity. Okay? Now, we said it wasn't no foul play, and we said it wasn't no foul play because I'm white and I said so. Do you understand? Straight like that.
And how we can advance understanding.
Advance understanding and understand that we say what it is and you go with it. That's what y'all need to understand. We saying what it is and y'all got to go with it. Let me translate for y'all.
I mean, I believe that true crime is one of the last, what could be safe spaces for people to talk about what matters in society without.
What? You think so? The last say, look how they, why they always talking like it's always the end of the world when Negroes is seeking for justice. What? You see that? Oh, it's the last safe haven. In a world we built, we're so ostracized. What? In a world that we control, we mad about how we control the net. What? Come on, little doohickey face.
Advance understanding. I mean, I believe that true crime is one of the last, what could be safe spaces for people to talk about what matters in society without the political overlay. But this is just as toxic. It's got to stop, and it should stop here.
Hey. Now, the question you know when somebody is being intentionally obtuse, you know, when they're intentionally just not trying to get it, like real narcissistic behavior. You know, that's like a narcissistic trait. You know what I'm saying, that the dominant society is exhibiting, like intentionally not trying to get it, like. And then when you call them dumb, you know what I'm saying, or something like that, then you done stoop to the level. Now you know what I mean? Now you going back and forth with a dummy who just don't want to get it. Who just don't want to get it. It's super crazy though when you think about it. When you think about it, it's crazy. Extremely obtuse. Abnormally obtuse. Like, come on, bro. It's right there in your ocular circumference. What are you doing?
Great. So I wanted to check in really quick and share a little bit of information and my thoughts personally,
right,
on some things that I've come across this morning.
Right.
So I noticed that Megan J, which is a really, really strong advocate for Nolan Xavier Wells, and she has been breaking the case down. She's been sharing information, and it was brought to my attention via one of her posts that her family's home has been attacked. Someone is trying to kick her freaking door in.
So if y'all don't know what she's talking about, this so-called happened to Nancy Grace because she's covering the case. And if they're kicking in, this is what I don't get. This is what doesn't make any sense about any of that, to me. And here's why. It's because, like, the facts are the other team is winning right now. Like, if we just lay it all out, the other team is winning due to the fact of, the sure disorientation of all the information and the different theories and things. I mean, we pretty much got it pinned down, at least to this phone call now, which I think, does say a lot about everything. But for the most part, they're winning, right? So I don't see the motivation for even somebody on their side to say that any one of them, like looking at the judge and them, looking at the homies and them, I can tell you this, it ain't no black people. And maybe it might be some immigrants or something, maybe some tethers or something. But it ain't no black people that's threatening the white folks in a national investigation. Let me just get that out the way. Negralises have more sense than to send any type of threats or do any type of foolishness to YT people involved in a national whatever. That's just not that's not an MO of something that black people gonna do. We just ain't finna do that. Right? So then you think about the adjacents, right? The model minorities. They're gonna be on the side of YT mommy and daddy. So they're not finna buck up. And even our so-called allies, ain't nobody ever jumped out in front for our benefit before on nothing. Now y'all trying to get us to believe that two people championed the cause of black people and we're willing to go to the length of sending threats to public officials, a judge, and a police station? The second claim on the police station was the person called Star 67 and made threats of sending a tick, tick, boom, boom. Ain't nobody did that. Black, white, or otherwise. I'm not hearing that. You can't make me think that's happening. I can't put it on black people, but I ain't even finna give white people in the adjacents that they don't got a reason. It's not like they losing. It's not like all the friends got, unjustly put in jail prematurely and trying to raise money to get lawyers to get them out. This ain't a black case. This ain't a black tale. This ain't they in there working to get out on bond. They at the crib chilling. What's the motive for any of that to go on? I'm just saying, let's use our critical thinking skills here. If we want to think critically about things. I don't, you're not going to get me with that. You ain't finna get me. But go on, sis, you was cooking.
While her and her family's at home. What is this about? Like, who feels so aggressive towards the advocates
that they feel that they can just go kicking people's door down and threatening people and becoming aggressive towards innocent people who's just simply reporting information about a case that's public information.
See, I'm not down on the sister for saying it, because she just doing her little, informing her followers on the information she feels like is relevant for them. I'm not down on her, but it's the story though. Like she like the only one I've seen that deemed the information in the story relevant to talk about it, and she can have her opinion about it or whatever. But I'm saying that it's not true. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying ain't nobody done kicked in. That's for rate. She tried to do that as a publicity stunt for more ratings on her little program for controversy. Ain't nobody. Somebody went to Nancy Grace's house and kicked in the door over Nolan Wells. That's what you're telling me. That don't even sound right. It gotta at least sound right. That's what I'm saying. Hey, buddy, if you want me to talk to you so bad, there's a super chat over there. That works. Otherwise, you ain't saying nothing. As we proceed. Oh, you know what? We're going to do I got a couple more joints. We ain't going to make this one super long because I definitely want to do the late night crime tonight. The crime night tonight. Or, you know what? I'm going to tell y'all, because y'all my peoples, I might stream, if they got Spider-Man on the little site I'll be going to, I might stream Spider-Man because I wanted to watch it. And I might just stream it. I ain't gotta monetize it. Maybe y'all can, chip me off a little something. But I might stream Spider-Man. I mean, what's the worst they can do? If I don't try to monetize it, then it's just on there. They might try to pull the video off, but I'm gonna try to do it in such a way where, you know what I'm saying, and I'm not gonna label it that. I'm gonna try to do it very stealthy, so like only we'll know that we watching it. So if you just happen to click into the Keep It P podcast, and yeah, the new movie, I would imagine that it's probably on the website by now. Somebody that uploaded the screener, but if so, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna do it. Okay, check it out, y'all. Now that I'm thinking about it, I might have to chill because I do got warnings on my channel that ain't fell off. I think I got about 30 more days for my warning to fall off. And I'm like, dang, if I do that and they snatch the video down, try to give me a little strizike, I definitely don't need a strike. Because if I get a strike, then they gonna say I can't stream. And then if I stream it, I'm gonna stream it on all three channels. So they're gonna give me a strike on all three channels. That might be bad. I might can't do that. That was a nice dream, but I had to bring it back down to reality. Cause they let other people get away with that, but it just be my luck. Matter of fact, you know what? I just had to fight. Y'all know what? I just had to fight for the stream I just did earlier. If y'all looked for the stream I just did earlier, they snatched it down. I don't know why. I told y'all they was messing with that stream when we was on it. The last one I just did about the gasoline. They snatched it down, y'all. I had to appeal. They just put it back up. No BS on the J Lava channel. I'm not playing with y'all. They just snatched it down. Why they do that, I don't know. But all of a sudden, they put it back up and took the warning down. Look, I ain't playing. Look at this. Look at my dashboard in the back. It says, after reviewing your content, we deem the Florida Florida teen faced felony charges after horrific gasoline attack on friend is appropriate for all audiences. Like, I had to fight just real quick to get the junk back. Like, they snatched him up. They snatched the Datsters. They just snatched him up. They don't be playing with us black creators, man. They be doing us like all different types of ways, man, about this content. So, you know. Yeah, because I'm making a difference in the world. I appreciate that, Chris. I appreciate that, fam. Real talk, broski. Let me see, what time is it? I like to end on hours. Maybe we could just go ahead and go till 9 o'clock, and then I close it down, because then we can come back and then watch whatever we're gonna watch or do whatever we're gonna do. Probably like 10:30. And then if I do like a 10:30 to 2 o'clock, I won't fall asleep. 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, I can handle that. But if it's too late, I'm falling asleep. I said I was just gonna run it and let it fall asleep, but I don't want y'all to hear me snoring. Y'all be making fun of me. That it might go viral. Like, YouTuber fell asleep on the stream, snoring very loudly. I'm transparent. It is what it is. There was a few more that I wanted to bust down on this here topic. I played that one earlier. That is still popping. If y'all didn't know that the Give Send Go was between Jax and Warren.
I know you're all not ready. I know you're not. Take a moment and let me know when you're ready for the next twist in this true crime soap opera associated with the death.
I appreciate you, my guy, Chris. That is a very a very soul touching comment, fam. Like, especially when because I don't be trying to do that. I just be feeling it out. I give my commentary, man. It's just what I think. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate the fact that people like what I think. It's really something else, dude. And it's really motivating too, man. The comments that I get from y'all, the love that I get from y'all, man. Shout out to my members, Cayenne and I just seen. Hold on. Was that you? Who just hold on? Because somebody just hopped on board. I just seen Foxy Butterfly is a part of the family, y'all. Y'all gotta say, welcome to the family. Foxy Butterfly in the hen house. You know what I'm talking about? I appreciate you on the lookout side of the game. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? I can't wait till we get listen, y'all. All right, I give y'all the number. I feel like we would have a productive, straightforward community if it was 50 members. You know what I'm saying? 100. I'm gonna put in the work to get 1,000 members. You know, I'm 1,000, but I'm like just 50 members. So we start off, you know what I mean? And do our own little members only content. I really want to do that. I really want to reward y'all. I really appreciate y'all. And if I'm gonna be working and twerking, you know what I'm saying, then I'm gonna have to, you know what I mean, do the special thing for y'all too. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you know what? Matter of fact, all y'all need to get with me in the inbox. Foxy, I got you already for sure, but all of y'all need to get with me in the inbox on Facebook, and I'm gonna send y'all one of them pieces of the package the FBA kit we got, because there's 6 items in there. I'm gonna send y'all one of them for free. You know what I'm saying? I'm, you know, I try to do something, try to show some love. I appreciate you, that boy. Yeah, I celebrate the chat too, man. Man, I appreciate all y'all comments, and I look at everything y'all say, and best believe I appreciate the family we building, because it's all about that community, nigga. That community, nigga. Straight up, right? Our community can be just as large as we want it to be. I see it super big. I'm telling you. So, yeah, what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna play these couple more joints out, and then I'm gonna select what we're gonna do, because it's either gonna be a crime night, or I'm gonna see if I can find, like, because you know they got so they got movies on here that's free, right? So I don't see why we couldn't, like, watch a movie on here that's free and play the commercials and all of that, I guess. And I don't know. I gotta look that up. I gotta see how that go. Right? That's why I gotta get to 100,000 subscribers, so I can have my own little personal YouTube person that I talk to navigate me and make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. But anyway, my man's breaking it down on the Give Sim Go side of the game.
Of Nolan Wells. If you're ready or not, let's get it. Less than 24 hours ago, a funding campaign was launched to help cover legal expenses for 2 of the teens in any pending wrongful death suits associated with the death of Nolan Wells. You can't make this up. Now, this fund is set up to benefit Warren Hudson here, whose father is Dr. Benjamin Hudson, and his mother is Chancery Court Judge Ashley Cole. Now, for his part in this soap opera at this point, Dr. Benjamin Hudson offered a $50,000 reward in connection with anybody who had information that led to the arrest and conviction of anyone in connection with the death of Nolan Wells. And his mother also released a statement. I'm talking about threats, yada, yada, yada. The second person that this fund is set up to benefit is Jack Batallo here. You can see him here fishing with Warren. And they were both with Nolan Wells on the day that he allegedly died. Now, according to Dr. Benjamin Hudson, the one who offered the $50,000 reward for any information leading to the arrest and conviction of anyone in connection with the death of Nolan Wells, he says that this fund is created for the sole purpose of fighting these individuals. Our goal is to raise money to defend those friends against incoming wrongful death actions filed by attorney Ben Crump and his team. I do remind you that no wrongful death lawsuits have been filed at this moment. And he said the sole purpose of this fund was for fighting these individuals, but they do mention a second sole purpose. Somehow I don't think somebody knows the definition of soul, but I digress. The second goal for the teens in setting up the fundraising account is to fund a robust legal team to sue for the litany of slander and libel spread by not only civil rights attorney Ben Crump, but also for many social media influencers, news outlets, and local people that are provocateurs. You can't make this up. And if 2 sole purposes was not an oxymoron, let's get into the third sole purpose. In addition, Benjamin Hudson said the money the teens raise will be used if Litigation is necessary to preserve evidence and hold accountable those who cross the line from expressing opinions into conduct the law may recognize as actionable in any jurisdiction we can find them. So basically, they're going after people for talking about this case in a manner in which they don't like. You can't make this up. Like I said, no wrongful death litigation has been filed at this time, but I guess this is them getting out ahead of it, and they're trying to scare people into silence in the process. But don't worry. Sue me. I'll still be speaking.
That's how I feel, broski. On the real to real. Straight up. For everybody, if this your first time jumping on the program, welcome to the Keep It P podcast. I'm Jay Lava, and I scour the internet so that you don't have to. I'm going to need you to go ahead and do 4 things for me before we get out of here. Go ahead and subscribe for the vibes, like for the spike, comment your vomit, share if you care about getting Black empowerment everywhere. Please do that on the platforms that we are on. Jones. And just to bring it all the way home, I got love, peace, love, truth. I'm tripping. Love, peace, blessings, and aloha. I'm tripping. I'm coming back, obviously. We're going to do, I might be able to fit in another short stream before the late night one, but if not, it's just going to be the late night one. Y'all got me for the late night one too, for sure. Matter of fact, I'm going to just probably start it. I'm going to start it early because we can just let it roll, but I got to figure out what we're going to watch and what we're going to do. So be looking out for my night crew that's rolling with me. I appreciate you too, fam. Thank you so much, bros, for sure. We'll figure it out. Love, peace, blessing, and aloha. I'm out the Doha for sure. You already know.